Here's my review of the GW-7900B. It's a watch that I've had for a little bit of time now, and I enjoy it very much. I'm going to show you the unboxing. This is the original boxing that it came in. Comes with the tin that we have here, G-Shock logo, and we're going to pop this bad boy open. And here it is, voila, G-Shock. The model on this is GW-7900B. The B stands for the negative display background that you have there. It's black on white, or I should say white on black, where the numbers are white and the background is black. Real sharp looking watch. You got the 4 screws here to basically help protect the watch, or at least that's what it says on the website. I'm going to take this guy out, and you're going to be looking at the watch now and its features. Basically, it has something called an atomic timekeeping, which means that it syncs up to atomic towers in the UK, US, Germany, Japan, and China. Receives a signal that starts at 12 o'clock, trying to get the signal that's being transmitted, and basically going to have a tough solar power, which basically means that it charges up the battery. And you're also going to be shock resistant, obviously. You got the full automatic EL backlight with afterglow, which means that, let me activate it for you, you keep your finger on it, and then every time you twist your wrist down, so I probably took it off, we'll press it again. You can take it off and keep it on just by pressing the G button. You basically swing your arm down and it's supposed to kick back on. It's not doing it for me now. It's a feature that I don't use. There it is, it just did it. So when you're watching it, you want to see the watch come on in the middle of the night, just twist your wrist down, and there it is, it goes on. I prefer to keep it off because it saves a lot of energy on the watch. I won't get you guys bored with the crazy details on it, but then there's a lot of details to it. First off, in the top left hand corner, that little circle that you have, that's going to be a moon graph, where it basically tells you what phase the moon is at. Right now it's at a very small crescent. It's there's really going to be no moon tonight. If you see the blinking tide graph to the left hand side of the tide graph, that means it's low tide as of right now, and you could set it specific to what beach or area you go to, so you know exactly where your tide is at. Right now it's at low tide, it's going toward high tide. Let's scroll around to see some of the options. You hit the G, gives you the 3-second afterglow and lets you see your time very clearly here. I'm also going to give you a rating on this watch, so if you'll just bear with the video, you'll see the rating that I give it later on. Press the button, go into the first option, you have time, tide, where basically you could go ahead and scroll through, hey, where's the tide going to be at 9 a.m.? Well, that's where it's going to be right there. It's going to be coming off a high, and so on and so forth. You can keep going where it's really low tide at 12 o'clock. Great feature. You also see the moon phase at the top left hand corner in that circle as it changes and progresses. This is world time. I have mine set to Madrid, so right now in Madrid it's 8:06 p.m. So I can always keep tracks on my grandma and see what time it is out there, so I don't wake her up in the middle of the night. Going forward, I have an alarm. I could set it up to 5 different alarms. That's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and you also get a snooze and a signal should you want to be signaled every hour. A little chime comes up at every hour on the hour, letting you know that the time just changed. Going on to the next feature, stopwatch, which is pretty cool if you're timing yourself, if you're a runner. You know what to do with this, self-explanatory. Next one is one that I really find useful. I have a daughter who has a little bit of a discipline problem, not so much anymore, but what we do is we put her in 2-minute timeouts. Once it counts down, take her out. I also use it 12 minutes for boiling water, so I can put my pasta in. I'm a little bit forgetful, so once the chime goes off, I know I got to run back in the kitchen and make sure that the water doesn't boil over, and back to time. It's a great watch. Here are the pros and here are the cons. Number one is the pro that I think, first off and foremost, is its nice thickness. It's a nice beefy watch, so you could, it's a nice watch, nice and thick. It looks great on the wrist. It has these little flap wings here, Makes the watch a heck of a lot more comfortable than other G-Shocks I've worn. It's a great feature to it. And other than that, I just constantly get complimented on this watch. Like, where'd you get that watch? What kind of watch is that? So if you're into having something that's pretty eye-catching, it's a great watch to have. Here are the negatives. In low light, which right now I'm not in a low light situation, but maybe you could see it when I angle it off a little bit. It's harder to read in low light, and you're actually seeing exactly what my problem is in low light. If you see it there, you could barely make out the 208, but as you get forward and the light gets better, it's easier to see. But this is really my only beef, and it's pretty big at first. But then you hit the button and look, lights right up. So on to my rating. My rating on this watch is going to be a solid 9.5. It could have been a 10 if it was easier to read. But that's my only beef with the watch, is that you cannot really read it in low light conditions. That's easily correctable when you just go ahead and boom, press the button. Lights up. Compared to other watches, such as my GW-7900, this actually lights up for 3 seconds, which is a heck of a lot more useful than 1.5 seconds, especially at nighttime when you're groggy, trying to get your eyes to focus in. This is really easy to read in the middle of the night. I'll show you a comparison if I could. This is my GW-9100. You'll see that it lights up for 1.5 seconds, and then it's gone. Ready? It's gone in 1.5 seconds. So that's my biggest beef with this watch. As far as comparison, you'll see the thickness factor here. It's a thicker looking watch, my GW-7900, and it's actually a much sharper watch. But as you can see, the positive display watch is a heck of a lot easier to read in any lighting condition. That's the benefit on this, and if you actually are that concerned with that, they actually make a positive one for this, where you actually get a positive display, but I think it takes away from the look of the watch if you don't get the negative display on it. But that's completely up to you. You'll get a 10, I think. I haven't reviewed that watch, but you'll get a solid 10 should you get the positive display. I like the style, so I'll give up a little bit, and I'll go with the black negative display because it's that much more stylish in my mind. So that's been my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think, and what you think of the review and what you think of the watch. Have a great day.